Welcome back to the details. We have Brett Taveau, author of Unpacking Greatness, a Chiefs book available on Amazon. Brett, we have a running play to look over this week. Chiefs and Colts. The Chiefs did not have very good running success against the Colts. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had 7 rushes for 0 yards in this game. So we're going to look at this run from the first half, a 2nd and 4 for the Chiefs. Let's look at this wide angle first, the all 22, and then we'll get into breaking down this play. So just tell me with the numbers here, it looks like the Chiefs have pretty good numbers going up to the side. And what do you see from this play just originally on the wide angle?
Yeah, so the Chiefs are in a 2-by-2 spread set, and it looks like Indianapolis matches it with their nickel personnel. So you just have a 4-down front with a 6-man box, two inside backers, and then a nickel that's halfway between to the field, halfway between I guess would be the right tackle and the receiver there. So and then a two deep shell, which, like, as you said, gives a favorable run look because you're going to have a 6-man box, and the play we're going to see is going to be designed to deal with 6 people.
All right, let's get to breaking this down. And I think the other famous part, if you will, about this play is that Patrick Mahomes did some pointing in here. So he was kind of trying. We've seen this with Isaiah Pacheco in the preseason where he kind of points to where he thought that the run should go. Patrick Mahomes does that in this play as well. We will diagnose here whether that was kind of right with this. So let's start with this outside zone run pass option. So this play actually has a pass option added onto it.
Yeah, so as we roll the tape here, you'll see in a traditional zone concept, you're going to see Brown and Tooney. They're going to block their gaps to the right. However, this being an outside zone RPO, they're going to what you call lock. They're going to block back out away from the play. And what that's going to do is going to isolate the will here, and it's going to keep any sort of C gap pressure off of Mahomes in case he decides to pull the ball and throw. So it really cleans up the read here. And Kelsey's just going to run like a little replace slant behind there.
So let's get to it. We see what happens with this linebacker.
Yeah, he's probably reading those guards there blocking out, and he decides, he's going to basically sit. Whereas, as I said, if you get full zone action, it's possible he goes, but then you're not protecting the quarterback, and you're not isolating the read how you should there. So Mahomes reads it correctly, as you have illustrated there, Jesse. And it's just outside zone to the right. That's all it is. The will linebacker has been held by the RPO in the eyes of Mahomes, blocking back out on the backside. And you basically have 3 for 3 on the front side.
And real quick, I mean, I studied this a little bit with Kansas. They kind of major in wide zone a little bit, but you're basically trying to get those guys running on the outside and create multiple places where you can hit the run. Is that correct, Brett?
Yeah, that's exactly right. You're trying to get what's called horizontal displacement in the defense to get them to, as you said, running horizontally, which would then open up vertical run lanes.
All right, so here we go. We progress on with it with Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah, so his eyes here, as Edwards-Helaire's coming across the mesh, his eyes should be on the guy you got highlighted there, the defensive end, who's, if you look pre-snap, he's in a very wide 5 technique. He's, he can look out there pre-snap and see that Wiley is not going to get him reached. That is just not going to happen. So the run in, he's still supposed to read it from the outside in. He sees now the edge is not there. So now his eyes are going to go back in to read the B gap right there where you can see Smith has climbed. He's going to read the B gap and then to the A gap if the B gap's not there.
Yeah, so that's what we have on the graphic here. Again, the C gap, which is the outside gap, is closed because of the defensive end getting upfield. Your eyes turn then to the B gap and then the A gap, looking more to turn this thing upfield toward the middle.
Yeah, no doubt. It's an outside in read, as you said there. So what you have there is he doesn't like the space in the B gap, which, he may have been able to get something there, but you can see that that nickel fits into the B gap there, which he may see. But what he needs to do right here, and you have a great point there with your block on Humphrey, is he's unable to reach a 2, which is a very hard block to reach a 2 technique. I mean, he's basically a gap and a half over, but he does push him horizontally, as you said, Jesse, talking about the intent of the wide zone is to get guys moving horizontally, and you can see a really good run lane open up here.
Yeah, interesting to kind of watch this is if you watch from the beginning of the play here, we talk about Trey Smith. He tries to help out Creed to get this thing blocked. He kind of puts his arm into him here to try to help him. But again, that's a very difficult angle to try to get all the way around that defender and get him, as you call, reached to get him all the way on the outside to clear that hole. So Creed does the best he can, and again, still opens up a lane here.
Yeah, absolutely. So the running back Edwards-Helaire needs to see this, stick that right foot in the ground, and get vertical right off Humphrey's butt there. If he gets vertical right there, we're going to get 4 to 7 yards on that play. And
again, 2nd and 4, that can be very important. Just put your shoulder pads down and get ahead.
Yep.
And again, Mahomes is trying to help him out here, pointing where the hole is.
Yep, and that just kind of shows the knowledge that he has. And I know most quarterbacks understand the reads of the back and all that, but he sees that in real time and understands that, hey, that's where it is. And then Jesse, you and I were talking before the show as we were going over this. Smith doesn't do a good job staying engaged on his block. And I think that's what forces Edwards-Helaire to go back to the outside. But this is a rookie mistake, not a mistake a third-year player should be making to try to bounce that ball late, because that defense has already set the edge, and they're not going to give up that edge once it's been set.
And the thing about Trey Smith, too, I know we saw some other clips out there of him struggling in plays, especially that 1st and 10 from the 1 yard line where he got beat to the inside. So not a perfect block from him. But again, this is the difference right now between 3 or 4 yards. You make it into a 3rd and 1 or a 1st down, and bouncing this thing to the outside, trying to do a little bit too much, and all of a sudden you're into 3rd and long.
Yeah, and this is a great example here of just, it seems like everybody does everything right. Now, Smith could have done a better job staying engaged, but everybody except the running back does their job. And one person fails to follow their coaching and follow to run the play the way it was designed, the intent of it, and you end up with a 3-yard loss. So, and as you said, the running game stats were pretty abysmal from the running backs.
Well, for the Chiefs here, again, one of the struggles of this last game, I think it stood out against the Colts because they were relying on the pass. There's going to be a lot of talk this week about getting the running game going again. And the other part of this I think we have to mention is that Patrick Mahomes is pointing the way from his running back, because a lot of times in these RPO situations, he has been trying to throw the ball. He maybe tries to do a little bit too much. So in this particular instance, he hands it off, he sees the hole, but again, the Chiefs not able to execute. This is where the running backs become very important, right, Brett?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a play that it's run at the high school level on up, and I'm sure he's been running this play for a while. So, and it's one that he tries to do a little too much instead of just running the play how it was designed.
All right, Brett. Hey, well, appreciate your time, and thanks everyone for checking out the details here at the Kansas City Star.